Well, howdy everybody, it's Cowboy Steve at Build a Homestead. So that storm has arrived. It's raining just a smidgen, but I went and got some hay so that I can redo the chicken coop. So to keep the wind out a little bit, I see the straws getting a little matted. Let me rotate here. So all the animals they're doing all right in the cold, as I expected. They're all hardy. Although these are a tropical duck, they're called Muscovies, which supposedly is named after Moscow. That's a misnomer right there. I see chickens out in the rain. This rooster is a lone rooster. He does his own thing all the time. Nobody loves him. He hangs out with the ducks mostly. They don't like him there either. But looky, I can see chickens out in here. So they're in the rain right now, my chickens. And when they want, they come up and put themselves away. They're all so wet and unhappy. So for myself, I've got this oil canvas jacket, and that's a super good thing to have. It buttons up, see, it's got a flap, shoulder guards. I'm doing all right. I do see one thing that when I set that up, I forgot I used a fence post. I don't want his feet on there, so I'll look for some pipe insulation to wrap around that and tape off. So this is the rooster pin where just the roosters have, and only one is left in here. And but I don't want his feet on there all night long. In addition, I've got hay over here. The horses, as soon as I open it up, they'll get into it. So I'll throw some hay down for them. But then I use hay in my chicken coops. That's how I take care of my chickens. They do all right. I've got these Brahmas out here with the furry feet. They do good summer or winter. They don't seem to care. They do all right. Rotate. That's $16. I don't remember hay being $16, but this ended up being $16. I don't know if that's a fair price for hay or not anymore. There's the chicken coop right here. Let me rotate. If I don't feed them, the horses will get in here and be standing on top of me and whatnot. So I will throw some hay down for the horses. I've got this electric gate that closes them all in. Look at all them eggs I got in just a few days. So that's pretty good. I see somebody was sitting there, but see, they're all making a little mess. I'm not going to mess around. It is super cold. Well, hi, honey. Little chicken, run away. But it's getting messy in here. But I'll put some extra hay in there. She left a little gift too, so I'll get this all cleaned out. All right, a little on the cold side. Let me get my gloves on. I'll show you one more thing I got going on. Inside of my jacket, I have these little handheld warmers. Keeping me warm. And it's cold out here. It's down to 32 now. Very soon the rain will turn to sleet or snow or whatever. So I want to get this done before the chickens need to put up for the night. I want to be in a nice, clean, warm, dry environment because they're out here all wet. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. All this is handmade here. I just use. You could go and you could buy them $2,000 or $3,000 chicken coops if you want. But those aren't for me, right? Everything in here I just built out of found parts. So except a cage around it to keep out the raccoons and whatnot. So I'll show you in a minute. An owl came up against this thing and actually did manage to get a chicken. An owl bent these bars and grabbed a chicken and tried to pull a chicken through, but killed it. One night he found a chicken somehow, reached in and grabbed it, which really surprised me. Really surprised me. But that's how strong he was. He flew down here with his talons and he squeezed them bars and just pulled them apart, trying to get that chicken out of there. Isn't that something? Normally I shovel this all out in a wheelbarrow and throw it in the garden, but I'm just going to put it down on the ground with the thought that the chickens, as they walk through it, it'll clean their feet off, maybe get a little moisture off of them before they get in here tonight. I don't normally let it get this carried away, but I've had a lot going on lately. And I haven't been able to do what I've ought to have done with the chickens until now. So kind of late. Mine all free range, so they're all out and about all day long. They don't hang out in this thing. It's just for roosting. And then the hens boxes are in here, and so the hens lay here, and they also lay. I've got little cabinets inside of here that I buy. Pepsi Cola, and carry cabinets and things, so each little hen can have her own little quiet spot. My chicken coops are all treated with borax. I sprinkle borax on the floor, and that's how I don't have any mites. And they're pretty much open air as well. All right, I like hay because a little bit goes a long ways. We'll see, I've got a little sliver of hay like that. It doesn't look like much, but as soon as you start breaking it apart and making it, you know, a little bigger, then it just starts filling everything up. I leave the hens a little fake egg. These are all fake, they're not real. I leave them a little egg just to encourage them that, hey, that's a safe spot. I make the little nest for them. Interestingly enough, all my roosters will pick the spots and kind of make the nest for the hens. I've got gentleman roosters. Best roosters I've ever had. Well, that ought to give them a little something warm. Just put the old hay down on the ground for now. It'll be fine. So that ought to keep them warm through this storm. And my brands of chickens, they've got the fur on the feet. They're all Brahmas or Brahma hybrids. Mostly, I've got some Orpingtons that I adopted. If I see a chicken on Craigslist, a lone chicken, that's not healthy for them. So I'll go and get a lone chicken, even though I got to give them a couple of bucks, just for the fact that I don't want a chicken lonely out there. So, all right, so that was one half. I got another half just like it. I'm going to go ahead and fix that up as well. All right, I am getting a little on the cold side, I'll tell you that, even with these little pocket heaters. I don't know how them chickens are managing it outside, but they're managing. Again, just a little sliver of hay, and then, you know, just spread it out. People pay for pellets and they pay for a lot of things, but this hay seems to be just good for me. The other thing is that hay is, if you do get mites, hay, you know, they got to walk through all of that hay and it wears them out. And then once I add the borax in there, it makes it even harder for the mites to walk around. So my chickens generally don't get mites or foot problems or any such thing. I like having my chicken coop up high where I could just reach in and I don't have to work real hard down low. So I'll put some straw in there. Sometimes they nest in there. So I have 2 nesting boxes in this side too as well. Just old Coca-Cola. That one says Borden's, an old milk container. The last thing I have to do is take care of that pipe because that one rooster roosts there. I'm just going to, for now, just wrap a towel around it for this cold front because I'm not quite sure where my insulation is. But eventually I'll get to that, or I'll replace it with wood instead of the metal. But for now, I don't want his feet being cold all night long. All right, well, that does it. That's how I winterize for my chickens, y'all. They are in good shape. Clean coop. Hay on the ground where they could decide to. I got one hen right now that says she's cold. So she's in there. A bunch of them are gathering around as I'm doing this work. They're givers, right? Right there's 5 eggs. That's probably for a couple of days, maybe a day's work of time. Depends how much sunlight they get and how much they can free range. I do augment them with a little bit of corn as well, and a little mullet too, or millet. I'm not sure how you pronounce it all, but sorghum, right? Effectively sorghum. Whew, it's cold. All right, rotate. Everybody's all curious. They've all been standing around watching me, except they're home, waiting to be able to go in. All right, guys, it's all nice and clean and fresh. You all go in and enjoy it. And then on the one lone rooster that roasted alone, I had a pair of old pants that was all worn out, so I just wrapped those around there for now. Whoo! It is cold. Here's the deal with Texas, I only have to wait a day or two and it'll just blow through. But in the meantime, it can catch you unaware, like the chicken coop needed some help. Old Hank's underneath the tree, got a little wind break, got a little water break. Blaze is out there in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't care. All right, everybody's doing good. All right, honest homesteading, right? You know, getting things around at the last minute. I'm going to run to town and get myself a loaded baked potato, I think. That'll keep me warm. All right, like, subscribe, follow me along. This is Steve building a homestead. Bye.